everybody to Mommy 101. This video is going to show you how to use a ring sling to do a front or hip carry. I'm going to be using Babylonia's BB padded sling today. Before I start, I real quick want to touch on one thing that makes ring slings so unique is the shoulder style. So as you can see here, this is a padded shoulder style. This is the organic BB sling, and you can just see the difference in the way that the shoulders are done. This one is sewn right here versus being sewn up here with padding. And it's just a matter of everyone has different body styles, body shapes, so it's really all about finding that perfect fit for you. With the padded one, it's naturally spread more across your shoulder and across your back. He's coming again. Versus this one, where you really have more control over how much you spread it, how much it stays narrow, and again with your back. So I like my babies on my left hip, so I always want the rings on the opposite side of where my babies are gonna go. So I'm going to put the rings on the right side. I want to hold it with my right hand, and I want the tail to hang on the right side. So if I was going to put my baby on my right hip, my rings would go on my left side, the carrier would go on my left hand, and the tail would go on the left side. So just remember right, right, and right, or left, left, and left. This makes it super simple to get right into that carrier. Next thing I want to do, once I get this on my body, come to my ear and find that inner edge. Come over here and find that top edge or rail. And I want to make sure I'm not twisted. So when I pull on this side, it should pull this way. And same thing. And that helps me get it positioned on my back where I want it. Also helps me make sure it's not twisted. And then I'm going to do the same thing, bottom and bottom, and make sure we're not twisted. And again, with the padded shoulder, I don't have to worry about spreading it as much. If I had the organic or a smaller drop shoulder here, I would want to make sure that I get that material nice and spread across my back. The more spread it is, the more the weight gets distributed and the more comfortable you'll be. Rings typically go at corsage level. If you're breastfeeding, be sure that you put them where it's most comfortable for you. This is a good starting point. And then I'm going to make sure that I have enough room in my carrier. And I want to make sure that the top and the bottom are even, so that as I'm tightening, I don't have to tighten more in one area than I do in the other. So you can see the top is much looser than the bottom. Oh no, well come here, you're about to go wee. So with the ring sling, the great thing is I can tighten the top just by pulling that top part. So I want to make sure I have enough room. You'll kind of be able to gauge how much room you need after you wear your sling a couple times. And you'll really know how much tightening and how much space. So let me grab my baby. Show everybody what's in your bag. So I put my baby on the hip that I want them to be on. And then in birth position. Okay, look that way. Perfect. In birth position, reach through the carrier and welcome them into the sling. Next, I want to make sure I get her where I want her. I want her on my hip. If I wanted her on my front, I would just put her right here. But I like her on my hip. I like to be able to see where I'm going. So if you notice, my ring's shifted here. I'm going to grab the tail and the carrier, hold her, and just slide this right back up to where I want it to be. If you see, I've kind of made a little seat for her to sit in. That's ideally where I want the sling to be. That way it's super easy for me to find that top edge. I'm always going to keep a hand on her. If I find that top edge, and I bring it up around her body. Next I'm gonna reach between us, and I always want to feed your hood. There's no hood in this carrier, silly. Oh, are you gonna make a hood? Okay, hold on. When I tighten you up, I'll give you a hood, okay? Just watch. When you tighten up, you always want to bring all the excess material or the slack towards the rings, so it's easier for you to tighten when it's that time. So I'm going to reach between us, starting closest to the rings. I'm going to find underneath her knee. I'm going to pull that fabric down and tuck it underneath her knee so her hip rotates towards me. And then I'm going to slide my finger across that and find her other knee. Did I give you a boo-boo? I'm sorry. So I want to do this again just to make sure pull it down, find her knee, pull this straight across between us, find her other knee. We want to get that knee over bum position. So now that I've got her here, we'll go ahead and we'll get... Did I pinch you? Oh, sorry. I'm going to grab all this extra material, bring it over to the rings, and I'm ready to tighten. So when I tighten, I want to make sure that I pull this in the direction that it's coming through the rings. That way this doesn't shift down. Because if I pull down, the whole sling is just going to go down this way. So if I take this, lift on her bottom a little bit to lift up that weight, and I pull in the direction that it's coming out of through the top. Take the middle, pull in that direction, take the bottom, so it's really easy to see stripe to stripe. So here's this, and if I pull this in the direction that this is coming from, see how my rings never move. And essentially, here's your hood. So essentially this is the ring sling with the hip carry. If you want to do a front carry, just put your baby towards the front, and you may just want to put your rings up a little higher. If you want to breastfeed, you have a built-in nursing cover. 1 second, let's show them how cool this is. If your baby falls asleep and you don't want to have to worry about holding their head, or you have a younger baby who needs a little additional head support, twist your tail up, and then you can tuck it right underneath. Oh, I'm sorry, I pulled your hair. Tuck it right underneath, and so you get a little bumper. If I want to nurse, all I have to do is find the middle of this ring here and lift up on the top of the ring. So if I lift on the top, it releases, and then I can lower her to where I want her to be, and then retighten. So you always want your baby close enough to kiss, unless they're actively nursing. You want some boobin? No boobin? Yeah, you want some boobin? So, here. Got it? So you want them close enough to kiss. If they're actively nursing, you can lower them, reposition, retighten. So as soon as they're done actively nursing, get them right back up to where you can kiss them. If you have to strain your neck to reach them, then they're too low. So discreet nursing, can't even tell if you're not comfortable with nursing in public. You have a cover. If you have a baby that's super into putting everything in their mouth, just take this tail, wrap it around your rings, slide it through the rings, and now you have some fabric. If your baby falls asleep and their head's too close to the ring, you always have the option to be able to cover that up and not have to worry about it being a safety issue. Use your best judgment when it comes to the ring placement and how close it gets to your baby. So, ring sling, can we get down now? I'll give you boobin in 1 second. Let's show everybody how you get out, and then you go right back up. So, I'm going to hold her bottom. I'm going to release the rings, and then I'm going to come around and slide this up over her. So now I can do one of two things. I can either put her down, pull this up completely over her head, put her down, great for sleeping babies, or if I'm done with the sling, I can pull this over my head. So you have two options. So if I pull this completely off of her, I can lay my sleeping baby down. The benefit of a ring sling, I can leave this on my body all day and put her in whenever I need to. And remember, the less you release as you loosen to take your baby out, the less you'll have to worry about tightening as you put your baby back in. So this has been a ring sling hip carry with my almost 3-year-old nursing toddler. Check out gentleparentingtwins.com for a full review on this sling, the organic sling, and tons of other wraps and carriers. And we'll see you soon. Say bye. Say bye. They're going. Say bye.